Right now, while millions of fans are celebrating the biggest World Cup in history, 2 US states just opened an investigation into FIFA. Not into a player, not into a referee, into FIFA itself. And the reason is something FIFA really doesn't want you paying attention to. Because while you're watching goals, penalties and red cards, behind the scenes, fans have been getting quietly squeezed out of hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. Tickets that don't exist, prices that jump the moment you try to buy, and a system that 2 attorneys general are now calling, in their own words, a gauntlet of confusion. This isn't a rumor. This isn't a leak. This is happening in plain sight, and almost nobody is talking about it. So today, we're going to break down exactly what FIFA did, how they got caught, who's fighting back, and why this could turn into the biggest off-the-pitch controversy of the entire 2026 World Cup. Let's get into it. To understand this scandal, you have to understand just how much demand FIFA was sitting on. This isn't a normal World Cup. This is the first one ever hosted across 3 countries, the United States, Canada and Mexico, 16 stadiums, a brand new 104-match format, the biggest global audience in the tournament's history. And FIFA knew it. Tournament organizers have said that for this World Cup they received roughly 500 million ticket requests. For context, the previous 2 World Cups combined only pulled in around 50 million requests total. That's not a slight increase. That's 10 times the demand, for the same number of seats. So you'd think, with that kind of demand, FIFA would run one of the most transparent, fan-friendly ticketing systems in sports history, right? That's not what happened. Instead, fans described the process as confusing lottery systems, tickets that vanished the moment they tried to check out, and prices that shifted depending on when, and how badly, you needed a seat. It's the kind of system that almost seems designed to squeeze desperate fans dry. And that's before we even get to what happened on the resale market. Here's where it gets serious. Attorneys General from New York and New Jersey, 2 of the states directly hosting World Cup matches, including the final itself, have launched a formal investigation into FIFA's ticketing practices. New Jersey's Attorney General, Jennifer Davenport, didn't hold back. Her office accused FIFA of turning the process of buying a World Cup ticket into what she described as a maze of confusion, artificial scarcity, and prices that spiral out of control. Read that again. A sitting Attorney General is accusing FIFA, the organization in charge of the sport, of manufacturing fake scarcity to drive prices up. And it's not just government officials raising the alarm. This controversy has a second front. StubHub. Multiple fans have come forward saying they purchased resale tickets through StubHub, weeks, sometimes months in advance, only to have those tickets cancelled shortly before the match. Not refunded and rebooked. Cancelled. Fans who had already arranged flights, hotels, time off work, showing up to stadiums only to be turned away and offered nothing but a refund instead of a seat. That backlash has already escalated into lawsuits against StubHub. So now you have 2 separate scandals converging at once. FIFA's own ticketing structure under investigation by state law enforcement, and the resale market falling apart around fans who did everything right. Let's talk dollars, because this is where it becomes impossible to defend. Take New York City as a case study, one of the World Cup's host regions. 2 nights in a hotel plus a single match ticket comes out to roughly $2,000. And that's before travel. Here's the part that stings even more. None of New York City's matches are actually played inside the city. They're across the river in New Jersey, so fans still need transportation just to reach the stadium. Normal round-trip transit to that area used to cost around $13. During the World Cup, prices for that same trip jumped to around $98. That's more than 7 times the normal cost for a train ride. Multiply that across millions of fans, across 16 stadiums, across a tournament that runs for weeks, and you start to see the scale of what regulators are looking into. This isn't a handful of angry customers on social media. This is a documented, statewide pricing pattern serious enough that law enforcement stepped in. And FIFA's president has publicly called this the most successful World Cup ever. Successful for who, exactly, is the question a lot of fans are now asking out loud. Here's what makes this scandal land even harder. It's not an isolated mistake. It fits a pattern. Remember the empty seats controversy from the opening matches? Thousands of visibly empty seats during marquee games, including